Hello everyone, PallyTime here. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are doing well. Today, I have to be honest, when I looked at Pokemon Unite, I thought it was going to be this thing that I picked up and played a couple of times and then sat it down and never thought about it ever again. But the more I play this game, the more I want to continue playing this game. I'm having an absolutely fantastic time. However, I am concerned about something. This game got a patch a few days ago. I'm a little late on this. My apologies. I took a few days off. But let's take a look at it. Pokemon Unite game update. Fantastic. Planned date August 4th. Like I said, we're a couple days late. Bug fixes, text fixes. Good. Okay. This is the part that I'm concerned about. Charizard. His flamethrower ability has been changed. Its cooldown has been reduced. Well, reduced by how much? Is it cut in half? I mean, I don't think so, but I don't know from reading this. Effects on opposing Pokemon strengthened, so it hits harder. How much harder does it hit? Fire Punch. Effects on opposing Pokemon strengthened. By how much? It's like this for all of them. And they're not even in alphabetical order, so if you want to find Absol, make sure you scroll down between Venusaur and Wigglytuff. This one's my favorite. Cinderace, Soccer Bunny. The following stats have been decreased. Attack. Blaze Kick, damage dealt to opposing Pokemon, decreased. Faint. Move downgrade. What does that mean? One of the Pokemon that was changed in the patch was our main man, Machamp. And if we take a look at his moves, I'm so illiterate with the Switch controller still. I just have to believe in the button I'm about to press. If I think about it at all, I just hit every button in the wrong spot. Anyway, that's a me problem. That's not your problem. Last episode, we showed off the cross chop on Machamp, and after playing 3 or 4 games with close combat today, I still think that it's the way to go. However, its damage was decreased in the newest patch. By how much? I don't know. Couldn't say. Close combat, however, it just doesn't quite have the synergy with submission like cross chop does. Cross chop allows us to like engage on a target, dash towards a target, and even set up a grapple with submission at the same time. Whereas close combat just kind of combos like your ultimate almost. It does a couple quick jabs into a heavy punch at the end in a direction that you set for the entire thing. So if you like your ultimate, I mean, maybe this would feel cool to use more often, but personally, I think cross chop is the way to go. So the plan for today, in order to make this video different from the last one that we posted, I did jungle Machamp in the previous video, and I intend to hopefully do it again today. But in today's video, I'm going to talk a lot about the process of controlling the jungle, always doing the next best thing that you can be doing. I think the central area in this lane is by far my favorite because you're always thinking about the map as a whole. You're always thinking about where should I gank next? What buff do I need next? Which objective is coming up next? And it's a really addicting playstyle. All right, the friendly team, Thundercat, Greninja, Machamp, Slowbro, and Puffball. The enemy team, Bluebird, Eldegoss, Garchomp, Soccer Bunny, and Slowbro. Why do I say Eldegoss for the enemy team, but Puffball for my own? That's a great question. All right, 10 minutes on the clock, and we are ready to go. We're going to lock in Karate Chop as our first ability and use that to help beat up the monkey on our way to lane. I've seen some people talk about the jungler not really should be the one to leech XP from that. However, I completely disagree. If I leech XP from the first mob and then move into the jungle, that gets me to level 3 right as this cactus spawns. I can then bulk up, use Fluffy Tail and Karate Chop to execute that cactus super duper quickly, which the buff from the cactus gives us an execute on neutral Pokemon like this. So if I leech XP off of the first monkey, then head into the jungle and am able to kill this root plus the 2 cactuses that were, 2 crustaceans that we're taking down now, I will hit level 5 before the first minute of the game has happened. And this is a big level for Machamp because this is when Machamp gets submission. So the top lane's being pushed up right now. We can go ahead, run in with submission, and he already knows he has to run away, but flip him back behind us, suplex him, and get the first turn in of the match. That's about as smooth as it gets. That's such a beautiful level progression. And I've been working on this for a few play sessions now, and it really turns out nicely like that so many times. Now, there is a little bit of a weird spot where should I gank top or bottom? Basically, it depends on the crustacean that you kill. If you kill bottom first, you're likely going to gank top because there's more XP up in that direction. So if top's doing fine and bottom's getting pushed in, that can be a little bit of an awkward situation. But other than that, it goes so smoothly into this middle phase. These crustaceans in the middle spawn at 845, and we can just zoom in and take them down without even really needing our jungle buff to do that. And as we go into lane, I'm still above the level of those guys that have been stuck in lane this whole time. The enemy team's puffball was only level 5. Now, as we approach the 7-minute mark, this is an important time for us to start thinking about controlling our jungle buffs again. At the 7-minute mark, the robot spawns in the top lane, but more importantly, the turtle, the dreadnought, spawns in the bottom lane, and that guy is so good. You should always be prioritizing that. It is so good. It gives your team a shield, it gives your team an XP bonus, and levels in this game are so important for your overall kill potential that anything you can do to get XP is going to be good. But getting XP for your entire team, that's how you snowball to a victory. So with 15 seconds on his spawn, I have both of my buffs, and I'm going to be down here in position, ready to go. I've been doing this loop all night to great success, but let's see if my team wants to come help us. Actually, might have a good gank potential here as we move in on the enemy team's Soccer Bunny. We are going to completely delete them. The enemy team's Puffball was going for the heal, but we suplex them back so they can't get it. Now this is when I tell my team, I need backup. I need backup. Come down here, please. I still have my buff. Okay, perfect. They're both coming down here. This is actually great. So we gank the lane, set this up for some big damage. I'm going to use the fluffy tail to make it more vulnerable to damage. And we just secured that huge buff for our team. Buffs are a little on the low side, so I could fall back and go get my buffs on the left side of our jungle. However, I do think it'd be better worth our time to help contest top and try to get that robot. We also have our entire team moving up here, so this is actually a pretty natural progression of the match right now. We shouldn't have to argue with anyone to take this down, you know what I mean? Let's say I need backup and jump right in on this. Once one other person shows up, I'll use the fluffy tail. Alternatively, I can just... slow pro doesn't really do much damage. Alternatively, I can just save it until this is low, and then we try to execute it with all of our abilities during that burst window. This is going to push the top lane down. If it makes it to a hoop, it's going to deposit 20 balls and give us instant turn-ins, a bit like what Zapdos does. But Zapdos does it for the whole map, whereas this robot only does it for the hoop that it reaches. Using suplex on the enemy team Sharkboy, we are going to move him out of his safety net. I'm also going to ult all of these guys into the corner. That's a double kill as we pick off the enemy team's Blue Bird. Hopefully our team was able to turn in. It looks like most of them were, and I get an instant turn in here. Never mind, I don't get it. Suplex back off cooldown, and we are going to take him down. I kind of need to back at this point. We need to refresh our buffs. I've been away from my jungle a little bit too long. I need to make sure I'm still getting XP. 5 minutes on the match. At the 5-minute mark, the jump pads are going to activate. Just yet another thing to keep track of. And as you can see, our timings here are actually pretty good. It's going to be 20 seconds until the turtle at the bottom of the map respawns, and we're going to be ready with this buff by that time. Look at that. That's so smooth. So basically, this is what I'm thinking about every match. I'm always thinking about the next step. What's the next best thing that I can do? How can I help my team in the next best way? And there's always something. That's one thing I really like about the super fast match pace in this game. Let's go ahead and use the fluffy tail as everyone has arrived. Beautiful. It's even if you had a bad opening in the game. I'm sorry, I'm stuttering. I'm really tired. I'm trying to hold it all together. Even if you have a bad opening in a match, you're already in the middle of the game 2 minutes later. You don't really have time to dwell on that mistake. You're like, okay, what's the next best thing that I can do? Unfortunately, I am being ulted by Bluebird, and his health is not moving. Once he activates that artillery zone, it is very difficult to get out alive, and damage against him kind of just stopped. Up in the top lane, the robot has respawned, and it looks like our Thundercat is on the move, taking it down up there. We'll be up in 2 seconds. We might be able to meet him up there in time with the fluffy tail ready. After this, we're probably not going to get another turtle. In fact, I don't think time would allow for that. We did pick him up pretty quickly, though. I don't remember if it's like a 2 or a 3 minute despawn time on the turtle, or respawn, I guess, until he comes back. I'm not sure. Our Thundercat does have 40 balls to turn in right now. The robot's still pushing the top lane. Let's try to get behind these guys. I'm going to go ahead and ult here, taking down the enemy team's Slowbro. Puffball running down the bottom lane. Let's suplex, almost ready, but I'm going to punch them out of their spawn. She actually used her own ult there to counter my push. That was pretty good. I'm being chased down now. Hopefully the friendly team is able to turn around and secure these other 2 kills. 3 minutes on the clock right now. That means it's time to get my jungle buffs. That means it's time to start saving my ultimate for Zapdos, because the fate of the game could be happening in the next 2 minutes. I did kind of throw my life away there. That was kind of unfortunate down in the bottom lane. So 2 minutes, 35 seconds. That means I have plenty of time to use Fluffy Tail here because it has a 25-second cooldown. We can get that nice and cleared pretty fast. Let's suplex while he's charging his ability so he can't use it on me. One optimization we can make to our playstyle here is I could charge up my big hit. Every 3rd attack on most characters gives you extra damage. So we could optimize our Machamp gank a little bit more by just attacking before an engagement and getting that buff. That seems really busted to me. It seems really weird that you don't actually have to hit something for that. But here we go, moving in with the suplex. Machamp is not really meant to be a front line. I'm kind of scared here, boys. I'm not gonna lie. Getting completely blasted by the enemy team's Bluebird. That damage is absolutely insane. We've been picked apart here. I'm gonna be back up in 11 seconds. I have my ultimate ability. Our team more or less managed to stay alive in that. So if I can get back in, that'd be really good. We see Slowbro using his wave to keep the enemy team back, trying to hold that choke point. It looks like they're right on top of it now. Shark Boy is on Zapdos. I'm popping my ult. I'm making sure that we get this. Here we go. Fluffy Tail being used, and I'm ulting. Oh, away from it. Okay, that's okay, though. Just finish it off. I wanted to dive in with that, but Shark Boy teleported behind me. I think I could have executed Zapdos with it. And actually, looking at my bar, it looks like Fluffy Tail wasn't even used. So not as dire of a situation as I was expecting. But the friendly team does secure Zapdos. That is my general mentality for jungling. It's evolving over time. I'm sure there's still more optimizations to be met, but we just dunked a fuck ton of points into the enemy team's main base, and with that we also hit level 15 as well, which is our goal in every game. You always want to be at max level. One auto attack away from taking down Shark Boy. In fact, we may have traded there, but this is all kind of superficial. The game has already been won. The points have been made. I don't think the enemy team has enough in stock to turn in to change the tide of this. Although, you know, 26-35 down in the bottom lane, that might be something. That might be something. I've completely ruined my sleep schedule. It's 6:30 in the morning right now. I stayed up all night, and I'm just going to try to make it through the day. So sorry for the mumbly wumblies at times during our commentary today. That's a final score of 704 to 152. I hope this video helped you understand the jungle a little bit more. Maybe visualize, always thinking about the next best thing that you can do. But of course, I'm just some guy. Who knows if I even know what I'm talking about. We deposited 149 balls. We got 6 kills and 10 assists in that game. And someone told me, good job. That's the best prize of them all. That's going to do it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. It will not be another Machamp video next time. We'll take a look at something new.